What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Friday, November the 27th. I hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday, considering the conditions. But today we have some exciting news to share with you regarding a second stimulus package. Yesterday, we heard from the White House trade advisor and assistant to the president talk about how Congress needs to act quickly on getting another stimulus package and getting it very quickly, and what will happen if Congress fails to act ASAP. He also mentioned that the possibility of Trump signing an executive order. Then we will also discuss the unemployment benefits that are set to expire next month. Also, we want to provide an update on the current virus cases in this country. Now, those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today. But before we get started, be sure to like this video if you like this type of content. It definitely helps out a lot, as it takes a lot of time to research this information and to provide a scaled down version to share with you guys. Also, if you want to be a part of this community, we would love to have you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Yesterday was Thanksgiving and everyone was celebrating in small groups, I hope. So not much information was out from the White House. But we did hear from the White House trade advisor, Peter Navarro. He was interviewed by reporters and he said that there is trouble ahead if lawmakers don't act on a stimulus package. Navarro stated that it has been 8 months since Congress passed legislation to help the American people during this pandemic. They had much success from that influx of relief aid for people and small businesses. But that money is gone and businesses and Americans still need more money to withstand the effects of this pandemic. He talked about how the unemployment claims rose for the second week in a row last week as the country continues to have spiking days of virus cases being reported. Navarro expressed his concerns that millions of Americans can fall into a chasm where they don't have sufficient support to actually survive. And without another stimulus package, Americans may lose their resilience to actually survive this pandemic. He added that there is a lot of arguing and disagreements in Congress related to a massive stimulus, but the main concern needs to be focused on the 3 key points that it needs to include. He said the stimulus package needs to provide help for small businesses with PPP, or the Paycheck Protection Program. It needs to include another round of $1,200 stimulus checks, and it needs to extend the unemployment benefits that are set to expire later next month. Navarro says that even though the American people are resilient, it may not be enough, because if we don't offer more relief aid to small businesses and they actually fail, you lose them forever. He said once they're gone, they ain't coming back. But I can say that he has a good point. Small businesses can't return and reopen their businesses at a later date because they would have lost so much money prior to that. Most small businesses have already jumped into their savings account just to survive these last 8 months. And with no spending during the holiday season from consumers, that would really put them over the edge. So we really need Congress to get their act together over these last few weeks and pass a stimulus deal. At first, I was pushing for a large stimulus package similar to Nancy Pelosi, but now I am just calling for any stimulus, as long as it includes the 3 areas that Peter Navarro has mentioned: the second $1,200 stimulus check, money for small businesses, and to extend the unemployment benefits. Now, Navarro also mentioned that he is expecting a second Trump term in the White House, but we're not going to even address that comment at this time. Moving on, there are over 14 million workers expecting to lose their unemployment benefits at the end of December. This is one of the effects of not getting a stimulus package done by the end of the year. Within that stimulus package, people are hopeful that it will include the $1,200 stimulus checks, money for the PPP, and for them to extend the unemployment benefits. Without those things, the American people and the economy could suffer from some challenging times ahead. These benefits that will be expiring also include the protections for renters, homeowners, and student loan borrowers. Without these protections, the housing market could burst into flames. With some people unable to work right now or unable to pay their rent or mortgages, they could lead towards eviction and nowhere to turn to. The American people deserve more than this right now, and we depend on this stimulus package to actually give them the boost that they actually need. It was not their fault. It's no one's fault that this virus has affected our country, although we can all probably agree that we felt like the government should have protected us from this virus. But we can clearly see that that's not the case. We must protect ourselves and try to bail us out of this pandemic. But we need Congress to get their act together and to provide the necessary tools to help the American people. It seems that Congress only wants to play politics at the Americans' expense, as it appears that there are more states that are having a second wave of shutdowns in an attempt to slow down the virus. More and more people are filing for unemployment insurance. When the virus first hit, we had an immediate spike in unemployment numbers, but those numbers eventually came back down. However, we just saw the job numbers earlier this week and they are just going right back up again. In a statement from a senior unemployment expert, Andrew Stetner, he said that the risk to the economy right now is just too high to let people run out of these unemployment benefits. And I agree. It seems like Congress just doesn't understand how people are hurting in this country right now. Everyone else can see it except for Congress. Even Senator John Cornyn, which is a Republican senator from Texas, he posted a tweet the other day saying that it was heartless to let aid expire for millions of Americans. He said Congress must act right now, as we have had 12 million people that could lose jobless benefits the day after Christmas unless Congress acts right now. The CARES Act was passed almost 8 months ago and we are still dealing with this pandemic. So we need Congress to pass this bill ASAP. In other news, as of yesterday, we have had more than 110,000 new virus cases being reported, which is sort of high considering it was Thanksgiving Day. I was like, did that many people go get tested on a holiday? Well, apparently so. Also, they have more than 1,200 deaths being reported yesterday as well. The country's total number is almost at 13 million cases and around 263,000 deaths in the 50 states, including DC, that was being tracked by the Johns Hopkins University. We must slow these numbers down in order to make an impact in this country. We can't just depend on the vaccine to come and save all of us. We must do our parts and make sure that we wear our masks when we're going out, avoid large crowds, and just stick to ourselves. I know some of you don't agree with these actions, but that's why the numbers continue to increase every day. Now, with today being the day after Thanksgiving, it's going to be interesting to see if we see a spike in new cases because of all the people that continue to spend time with large gatherings and travel by plane to be with their family and friends over the Thanksgiving holiday. The numbers over the next 2 days or so could spike up dramatically, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, we do have some good news about the virus. Study is showing that people who get the virus are having less symptoms and less deadly than before. I'm wondering if this means that the mutant of the virus is just getting weaker as it affects so many more people. I sure hope so, but all in all, be sure to stay safe and do your part. And if all of us can do our parts collectively, then we can be headed in the right direction of getting this virus out of our country and getting back on to some normalcy. Also, I would suggest each and every person watching this video to contact their state representatives and urge them or Congress to get a stimulus deal done before the end of the year. And if we can get every American to contact them or write them letters with the urgency of passing a second stimulus deal, maybe we can get them to budge just a little and go ahead and get this thing done. But other than that, hey, this has been your second stimulus check update news for today. If you found value in this video, be sure to press that like button for me as it really helps out the channel. Also, if you want to become a part of this community, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Other than that, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.